If you've spent years riding big motorcycles, you may be hauling hundreds of unnecessary pounds every time you leave the garage. Today, we're counting down 15 motorcycles under 500 cubic centimeters that experienced riders choose because they cost less to own, reduce fatigue, and make every mile more rewarding. Let's get started. Number 15, BMW G310GS 2018 to 2021. There comes a point when experienced riders stop chasing the biggest motorcycle in the showroom and start chasing the one they actually want to ride every weekend. That quiet shift in thinking is exactly why the BMW G310GS earns its place on this countdown. It is far more than just an entry-level adventure bike. It is a deliberate choice made by riders who have learned that lighter often means better. Its 313 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine is not about overwhelming acceleration. It is about confidence. Weighing under 386 pounds, ready to ride, the G310GS feels remarkably manageable on uneven pavement, narrow back roads, and crowded parking lots where larger adventure motorcycles can quickly become exhausting. The upright riding position, generous handlebar leverage, and commanding view of the road make every commute, weekend escape, and scenic ride feel relaxed instead of demanding. Experienced riders appreciate using nearly all of the motorcycle's capability instead of carrying around performance they rarely touch. The BMW G310GS from 2018 to 2021 originally sold between $5,695 and $5,795. Today, clean-used examples typically sell between $3,800 and $4,900 across the United States. Before handing over your money, inspect the engine cases and water pump carefully for any signs of coolant seepage, then confirm every factory recall has been completed. Imagine standing in front of a bike you want, the seller swearing it's perfect. That's where riders overpay by thousands on a $10,000 bike. Our buyer's kit tells you what it's really worth, your fair price, and when to walk away. A wrong bike costs thousands. This kit, just $49. The easiest money you'll ever save. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Let's get that bike you've always wanted for even cheaper. Our next machine takes an entirely different path, showing that pure simplicity can sometimes deliver an even bigger smile. Number 14, Honda CBR500R 2019 to 2021. Some motorcycles remind you that excitement has very little to do with engine size. The Honda CBR500R does exactly that. It is the kind of motorcycle seasoned riders buy after years aboard bigger, faster machines, because they finally realize that effortless handling creates more smiles than carrying power they rarely use. Its 286 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine delivers crisp throttle response through a smooth 6-speed gearbox, making everyday riding feel engaging without demanding reckless speeds. Every twist of the throttle encourages you to stay involved, choosing cleaner lines and flowing naturally from one corner to the next instead of relying on brute acceleration. The biggest surprise is its featherweight feel. At 317 pounds ready to ride, the CB500R changes direction with almost instinctive precision. Parking becomes easier, traffic feels less stressful, and tight back roads transform into places where rider skill matters more than horsepower. The upright ergonomics and narrow profile only reinforce that confidence, making every ride feel relaxed from the moment you leave the driveway. The Honda CB500R from 2019 to 2021 originally sold for $4,949. Today, clean-used examples typically bring between $3,700 and $4,800 across the United States. Before buying, examine both fork tubes and each wheel carefully for scratches, bends, or repairs that could reveal damage from a curb strike or a low-speed fall. If this countdown is already changing how you think about small motorcycles, subscribe for more rider-focused buying guides. The CB500R proves that simplicity can be every bit as rewarding as outright performance. Yet the next motorcycle broadens the horizon entirely, blending lightweight agility with the kind of long-distance versatility few riders expect from an engine this size. Number 13, Kawasaki Versys-X 300, 2017 to 2021. Some motorcycles convince you that adventure requires more horsepower. The Kawasaki Versys-X 300 quietly proves the opposite. It reminds experienced riders that the best journeys begin when the motorcycle becomes a partner instead of a challenge. Powered by a 296 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled parallel twin, the Versys-X 300 delivers smooth, eager performance that remains composed on secondary highways while staying playful on winding back roads. Its upright ergonomics, generous suspension travel, and light overall weight inspire confidence, whether the pavement is perfect or disappears altogether. Instead of wrestling a massive adventure bike, you simply keep exploring. The Kawasaki Versys-X 300 from 2017 to 2021 originally sold between $5,399 and $5,999. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $3,900 and $5,000 across the United States. Before buying, squeeze several spokes with your fingers and inspect the skid plate for deep impacts that could reveal a hard off-road life. But some experienced riders eventually stop chasing highway speed altogether and begin chasing slower roads, quieter places, and simpler ownership. That philosophy has inspired motorcycle builders for decades, and one machine from India embraces it better than almost anything else in this class. Number 12, Royal Enfield Himalayan 411, 2018 to 2021. Not every experienced rider wants the fastest route. Many simply want a motorcycle that makes them look around a little more often. That is the quiet charm of the Royal Enfield Himalayan 411. It replaces urgency with curiosity, reminding you that the best rides are rarely measured by how quickly they end. Its 411 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled single-cylinder engine delivers steady, predictable torque that feels perfectly suited to back roads, gravel lanes, and forgotten highways. Rather than encouraging aggressive riding, it rewards patience, smooth inputs, and a willingness to take the scenic route. That relaxed personality is exactly what draws many riders away from heavyweight adventure motorcycles. The Royal Enfield Himalayan 411 originally sold between $4,499 and $4,749. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $2,800 and $3,800 across the United States. Before making a deal, look closely around the cylinder head for fresh oil seepage, then check that the engine remains dry after a short test ride. The Himalayan reminds us that riding enjoyment is not measured by speed, but by how willing a motorcycle is to keep exploring. Even so, not everyone wants to leave the pavement behind. Many experienced riders simply want relaxed cruising, a lower seat, and effortless confidence every time their boots touch the ground. Honda found a remarkably simple way to deliver exactly that. Number 11, Honda Rebel 500, 2017 to 2021. Few motorcycles change a rider's opinion of cruisers faster than the Honda Rebel 500. It strips away the weight, bulk, and intimidation that many riders eventually grow tired of, leaving only the parts of cruising they truly enjoy. Its 471 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled parallel twin, delivers smooth, predictable power that feels perfectly matched to real roads. Instead of intimidating acceleration, it offers relaxed torque that encourages you to enjoy every shift, every curve, and every mile without constantly reminding yourself to slow down. The low seat, balanced chassis, and manageable weight transform everyday riding. Parking on uneven pavement becomes effortless, stoplights feel less demanding, and slow-speed maneuvers inspire confidence instead of caution. After a full day in the saddle, many riders notice they are less tired, not because they rode fewer miles, but because the motorcycle asks so little in return. The Honda Rebel 500, from 2017 to 2021, originally sold between $5,999 and $6,499. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $4,300 and $5,800 across the United States. When evaluating a potential purchase, crouch beside the motorcycle and look along the foot controls, frame rails, and exhaust for fresh scrapes or repairs that could reveal a previous low-speed tip over. The Rebel proves that real satisfaction comes from riding with confidence, not carrying unnecessary weight. But effortless cruising is only one side of the downsizing story. Some riders discover that shedding weight completely transforms the way a motorcycle behaves in city streets and tight back roads. Long before lightweight fun became fashionable again, Suzuki had already built the machine that proved it. Number 10. Suzuki DR-Z400SM 2016 to 2021. The Suzuki DR-Z400SM has survived for years without chasing bigger engines, flashy electronics, or headline horsepower. It earned its reputation the old-fashioned way, by making riders look for excuses to take the long way home. Its 398 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder delivers broad, usable torque through a 5-speed gearbox that keeps you connected to the ride. Its real strength is how willingly it carries speed through corners, rewarding smooth inputs, late braking, and precise lines. It turns familiar roads into places you cannot wait to ride again. Lightweight is its greatest advantage. The tall stance, wide handlebars, and agile chassis make city streets, tight canyon roads, and weekend back roads feel effortless. Veteran motorcyclists appreciate how little energy it demands, leaving them free to focus on the next curve instead of wrestling with unnecessary mass. The Suzuki DR-Z400SM from 2016 to 2021 originally sold between $7,299 and $7,399. Today, clean used examples typically command between $4,800 and $6,000 across the United States. Before buying, lift the front wheel if possible and check for play in the wheel bearings. Then inspect the swing arm and engine cases for scrapes that could reveal years of hard stunt riding. The DR-Z proves that pure fun has nothing to do with engine size. But some experienced riders eventually wonder what happens when the road simply ends. Instead of sharper cornering, they begin valuing freedom to keep going wherever curiosity leads. Honda answered that challenge with a motorcycle whose greatest strength is not speed, but its willingness to take the long way home. Number 9. Honda CRF300L 2021. The Honda CRF300L has a habit of turning dead ends into invitations. Where bigger motorcycles ask you to stop and turn around, this one quietly encourages you to keep going. Its advantage is simple. Nothing about it discourages you from taking the road that looks more interesting. Powered by a 286 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder paired with a smooth 6-speed gearbox, the CRF300L delivers predictable performance and legendary Honda dependability. It never feels intimidating. Instead, it encourages you to keep exploring, whether the pavement turns to gravel or disappears altogether. Its greatest strength is confidence. Lightweight, long travel suspension, and upright ergonomics allow the motorcycle to glide over broken pavement, forest trails, and forgotten back roads that many larger adventure bikes make feel like work. Veteran riders appreciate how little physical effort it demands, leaving more energy to enjoy the journey itself. It originally sold between $5,249 and $5,549. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $4,900 and $5,900 across the United States. During your PRE purchase check, inspect both rims for dents and examine the lower frame rails for heavy impacts that could reveal a hard off-road life. Picture it, you buy the bike. It looked clean. It sounded great. 3 weeks later, the bills start. A worn chain, tired forks, a service the seller never mentioned. That's thousands gone on a bike you already paid full price for. Our inspection checklist catches every one of those before you pay, walking the bike like a mechanic. Spend $49 now or lose thousands later. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Don't let a hidden problem drain your wallet. The CRF300L proves that the greatest freedom often begins where the pavement ends. Still, there are riders who want that same lightweight confidence with a little more highway refinement and modern technology built into the package. Austria has spent years refining exactly that formula, creating a motorcycle that feels far bigger than its displacement suggests. Number 8. KTM 390 Adventure, 2020 to 2021. Some motorcycles make you choose between excitement and practicality. The KTM 390. Adventure refuses to accept that compromise. It delivers the kind of spirited personality that reminds experienced riders why they fell in love with exploring in the first place, without asking them to wrestle a 600-pound adventure machine every time the pavement ends. Its 373 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single cylinder is eager, responsive, and perfectly matched to a smooth 6-speed gearbox. There is enough performance to cruise comfortably on the highway, yet the real magic appears when the road begins to twist. Every corner invites a little more precision, every mile rewards rider input, and every ride leaves you wanting another one. What truly separates the KTM is how much capability it packs into such a manageable package. Cornering ABS, traction control, ride-by-wire throttle, and a bright TFT display give it the feel of a much larger motorcycle, while its light chassis keeps gravel roads, city traffic, and weekend adventures refreshingly approachable. The KTM 390 Adventure, from 2020 to 2021, originally sold between $6,199 and $6,399. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $4,700 and $5,900 across the United States. Before you hand over any cash, turn the handlebars fully from lock to lock and inspect the TFT display for warning lights, cracks, dead pixels, or signs of water intrusion. The KTM packs impressive technology into a remarkably compact adventure bike, yet more features are not always the goal. Plenty of experienced riders eventually realize that the motorcycle they ride most often is the one that asks the least of them every single morning. Strip away the bodywork, keep the quality, and one of Japan's most trusted manufacturers delivers exactly that balance. Number 7. Yamaha MT-03 2020 to 2021. There is a moment when experienced riders stop asking, "How much power does it make?" and start asking a far better question, "How much of that power can I actually enjoy?" That shift in thinking is exactly why the Yamaha MT-03 quietly earns so much respect from riders who have already owned motorcycles twice its size. Its 321 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled dual overhead cam parallel twin is lively, refined, and eager without ever feeling demanding. Producing about 42 horsepower through a 6-speed gearbox, it delivers smooth, predictable acceleration that makes every on-ramp, every city street, and every winding back road genuinely entertaining. Instead of constantly holding yourself back, you finally get to use the motorcycle the way it was meant to be ridden. That feeling continues the moment the road begins to twist. With a wet weight of only about 373 pounds, responsive inverted front forks, and neutral ergonomics, the MT-03 changes direction almost effortlessly while remaining reassuringly planted. Veteran riders quickly appreciate how little energy it asks from them, whether filtering through traffic, making a tight U-turn, or spending an afternoon chasing corners. It rewards precision, timing, and smoothness rather than brute force. When new, the 2020 model carried an MSRP of $4,599, while the 2021 version increased to $4,699. Today, clean examples typically sell between $4,200 and $5,300 across the United States. Before buying, squeeze the clutch through its full travel and make sure every gear engages cleanly during the test ride, because any hesitation or false neutrals could point to clutch abuse or neglected maintenance. The MT-03 reminds you that lightweight motorcycles can make ordinary roads feel extraordinary, but riders who spend years perfecting smoothness sometimes begin looking for something a little sharper every time the road starts to twist. That leaves one question: which motorcycle gives experienced riders the biggest smile without asking them to carry unnecessary weight? Kawasaki's next entry has spent years answering exactly that. Number 6. Kawasaki Z400 2019 to 2021. Not every memorable motorcycle earns its reputation through sheer horsepower. The Kawasaki Z400 proves that balance, precision, and confidence often leave the stronger impression. It reminds senior riders that the most rewarding motorcycle is often the one that lets skill take center stage instead of horsepower. Powered by a 399 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled dual overhead cam parallel twin, The Z400 produces 45 horsepower through a slick 6-speed gearbox with an assist and slipper clutch. Every twist of the throttle feels immediate, yet never excessive. It delivers exactly the kind of usable performance that makes everyday riding enjoyable instead of exhausting. What truly separates this Kawasaki is its remarkably light feel. Tipping the scales at 364 pounds ready to ride, it flicks eagerly through corners, slips through traffic with ease, and makes slow-speed maneuvers almost effortless. After years aboard heavyweight motorcycles, many seasoned riders are surprised by how much fun returns when they are no longer wrestling unnecessary mass. The upright handlebars, natural seating position, and approachable seat height create a riding posture that remains comfortable long after the miles begin to add up. Instead of climbing off sore and fatigued, you step away ready to turn around and ride it all over again. When new standard models retailed between $4,799 and $4,999, while ABS versions range from $5,199 to $5,299. Today, clean used examples typically bring between $4,300 and $5,500 across the United States. Before buying, inspect the engine covers, bar ends, foot peg brackets, and control levers for matching scrape marks, since even a minor tip over usually leaves clues in every one of those places. The Z400 proves that genuine excitement does not require intimidating performance. Yet the next motorcycle adds an entirely different flavor to that formula, becoming one of the most beloved lightweight sport machines experienced riders refuse to outgrow. Number 5. Honda CBR500R 2019 to 2021. There is a common belief that experienced riders eventually outgrow smaller sport bikes. The funny thing is, many discover the exact opposite. After years of chasing bigger engines and higher horsepower figures, they begin searching for a motorcycle that makes every corner rewarding instead of intimidating. That is where the Honda CBR500R quietly stands apart. Its 471 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled dual overhead, cam parallel twin delivers 47 horsepower through a smooth 6-speed gearbox with a slipper clutch. It will cruise comfortably on the interstate, tackle your favorite back road with confidence, and still encourage you to explore the upper half of the rev range without constantly flirting with reckless speeds. That balance is exactly what keeps experienced riders coming back. Honda also understood that a sport motorcycle should not punish its owner. The riding position leans you forward just enough to feel connected, while the seat, fairing, and stable chassis make longer days surprisingly comfortable. At 423 pounds ready to ride, it feels reassuring at highway speed without becoming cumbersome around town or in crowded parking lots. When new models from 2019 through 2021 retailed between $6,699 and $6,999. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $5,000 and $6,000 across the United States. Before loading it onto the trailer, inspect the fairings, mirror mounts, engine covers, and bar ends for matching scrape marks, because even a minor slide usually leaves evidence across several contact points. Imagine walking into a viewing holding all the cards. You know the fair price, you know your opening offer, and you know the exact number where you walk away. That's how you knock hundreds, even thousands off the asking price. Our buyer's kit hands you those numbers for just $49. Negotiate from facts and never overpay again. Scan the QR on the right or tap the link in the description. Ride away knowing you got the best deal. The CBR500R proves that genuine sporting enjoyment has very little to do with overwhelming horsepower, but the next motorcycle approaches fun from an entirely different direction, and that is precisely why so many veteran riders refuse to part with one. Number 4. Kawasaki Ninja 400 2018 to 2021. Some motorcycles impress you with their specifications. Others change the way you ride. The Kawasaki Ninja 400 belongs firmly in the second group, and that is exactly why so many experienced riders keep one long after they could afford something much faster. Its 399 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled dual overhead cam, parallel twin, produces about 45 horsepower through a crisp 6-speed gearbox with an assist and slipper clutch. More importantly, it lets you explore nearly every bit of that performance on real roads. Every corner becomes more engaging because the motorcycle rewards smooth lines, late braking, and precise throttle control instead of overwhelming acceleration. Despite its sporty appearance, the ergonomics remain surprisingly comfortable for everyday riding, while its lightweight makes every mile feel effortless. When new, prices range between $4,999 and $5,699. Today, clean examples typically sell between $4,500 and $6,000 across the United States. Before buying, pay close attention to clutch engagement during the test ride, since repeated hard launches can accelerate clutch wear. The Ninja 400 reminds us that enjoying a motorcycle has very little to do with chasing bigger numbers. But when riding stretches beyond the occasional weekend blast, versatility begins to matter just as much as excitement. Which leaves one question: can one lightweight motorcycle genuinely handle commuting, touring, back roads, and everyday life without asking its owner to compromise? Honda believed it could. Number 3. Honda CBR500X, 2019 to 2021. If you want one motorcycle that can handle Monday morning traffic and a Friday night cross-country escape without missing a beat, this is it. The Honda CBR500X has quietly become the default choice for riders who value long-distance comfort over sheer horsepower. Honda gave the CBR500X a major evolution for 2019, adding a larger front wheel, longer suspension travel, revised ergonomics, and a more capable adventure touring character. The result is a motorcycle that feels equally at home weaving through weekday traffic or disappearing onto unfamiliar back roads. Its 471 cubic centimeter liquid cooled parallel twin is wonderfully refined, delivering smooth, predictable power that never feels rushed or demanding. Combined with its balanced chassis and upright riding position, the motorcycle inspires confidence instead of fatigue. Experienced riders appreciate that effortless character because it lets the scenery become the highlight of the ride rather than the motorcycle itself. The Honda CBR500X from 2019 to 2021 originally sold between $6,699 and $6,999. Today, clean used examples typically sell between $5,200 and $6,000 across the United States. Before buying, inspect the luggage mounts and front wheel carefully, then ask for documentation showing the scheduled valve clearance service has been completed. But not every experienced rider needs adventure styling to enjoy everyday versatility. Strip away the extra height, keep the same Honda dependability, and you arrive at a machine. Many riders quietly consider the smarter all-around choice. Number 2, Honda CBR500F, 2019 to 2021. Some motorcycles demand your attention every second you ride them. The Honda CBR500F does the opposite. It quietly earns your trust until one day you realize you have stopped thinking about the motorcycle and started enjoying every mile again. That is why so many experienced riders willingly trade bigger, heavier machines for this Honda. Its 471 cubic centimeter liquid cooled parallel twin produces about 47 horsepower through a smooth 6-speed gearbox with an assist and slipper clutch. The power is broad, predictable, and perfectly suited to real-world riding, giving you the confidence to use almost everything the motorcycle offers without constantly watching the speedometer. Updated suspension, natural upright ergonomics, and a reassuringly stable chassis make it equally at home in city traffic, winding back roads, or long weekend rides. Better yet, ownership stays refreshingly simple, with excellent fuel economy, affordable maintenance, and Honda's legendary reliability. When new, prices range between $6,099 and $6,199. Today, clean examples typically sell between $4,700 and $5,900 across the United States. Before buying, inspect the steering head bearings by turning the handlebars lock to lock and feeling for any notchiness, a common sign of neglected maintenance. The CBR500F comes remarkably close to the perfect everyday motorcycle. So what could possibly take the top spot? Not more power or more technology, but a motorcycle that best captures why experienced riders choose to downsize in the first place. Number 1, Honda Rebel 500 ABS, 2020 to 2021. This countdown has never been about finding the smallest motorcycle. It has been about finding the smartest one. And no motorcycle represents that idea better than the Honda Rebel 500 ABS. Ask riders who have owned heavyweight cruisers what they miss the least, and many will tell you the same thing: the weight. The Rebel replaces that burden with freedom. Weighing about 408 pounds, ready to ride, with a confidence-inspiring low seat and Honda's silky 471 cubic centimeter parallel twin, it turns everyday rides into something you actually look forward to. It is relaxed on the highway, easy in traffic, and remarkably satisfying on winding back roads because you can enjoy nearly all of its performance, nearly all of the time. When new models from 2020 through 2021 retailed between $6,499 and $6,699. Today, clean ABS examples typically sell between $5,300 and $6,000 across the United States. Before buying, inspect the foot controls, exhaust and frame rails for matching scrape marks, then confirm regular chain maintenance with documented service records. The Rebel 500 earns the top spot because it answers the question that started this countdown. Experience does not always lead riders toward bigger motorcycles. More often, it leads them toward motorcycles they simply never want to stop riding. If this countdown changed the way you look at smaller motorcycles, click the next video to continue the ride and discover another group of motorcycles that deserve far more attention than they usually get. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.